Hey, okay, so I had to shoot this quick video. I was about to write an email to you because this is so fresh this morning. It's a situation of extreme chaos in the household, especially with a 1 year old. And I just went through it with Ray. Comes up a lot in life with my 4 year old or my 1 year old, doesn't matter. But it's when there is an absolute meltdown, right? It's when I'm changing Ray and she literally is fighting with every ounce of her being to not get her diaper changed, to not get dressed, to not let me even do anything to get her ready for her nap. And it was just this, it happens often, right? She's going through this phase. Luca went through it too. Sometimes if it's not with her, it's with Luca, trying to get him to do something. But sometimes your kids are just going to absolutely melt down, right? And it takes so much patience for us not to lose our cool. It takes so much not to absolutely freaking scream our heads off to try to instill the fear inside of them to get them to try to adjust or distract or throw them off their own frustration and process through the struggle. So I wanted to share this with you because I know it's what so many moms go through this, and it was easier for me to shoot a video and talk about this because there's really a thought process that I go through and then a practice that I go through in order to get through these things with peace, calm, and sanity. And the other thing it does is it really allows you to move on from that situation, to still enjoy your day, to still feel good, and not to allow that stress or that like burst of like kind of negative energy that you felt boil up inside of you to take over for the rest of the day, because then it can carry on into other things, right? It can carry on into your marriage. Like I could snap at Vito like the next second just because I'm so overwhelmed and frustrated, or I could lash out at Luca for not doing the simplest thing because my energy and my stress got so boiled to the extreme that I wasn't allowing it to move through, to clear it, right? So here's what I want to share with you, and it's so fresh, that's why I had to share it with you right now. When Ray is absolutely melting down, when she's losing it, and I literally have I like barely, I'm like body slamming the girl to try to get her. I couldn't even change it standing up. It was just absolutely out of control. So the first thing I think to myself is, why are you getting so upset? Right? Because I feel it. I feel my anger. I feel my frustration. I feel that stress, right? And I think literally to myself in that moment, why are you getting so upset? Why are you getting so angry? And I have to do that because when I ask myself that question, I'm able to kind of step outside of that anger and frustration and look outside to within and say, all right, I'm upset because this is hard. This is making it hard for me. This is a hard situation and it's making my morning difficult, and I don't like that, right? So my reaction is the frustration, it's the stress. So the first thing I have to do is accept that struggle. Accept that it's hard, because then I look at Ray and I'm like, God, it's hard for her too. Look at her. She's freaking out. She's one. She doesn't have the psyche that I do. She's just going through life in such a natural way that like everything is just over the top, right? Just the emotions and everything, and her patience is zero, right? So I think to myself, this is hard for me, but it's hard for her too. Can I accept the struggle? Can I accept the hard right now? Can I do that? And my answer is always yes. Because I've been through that, right? You guys have been through that. That's the first thing you got to do. Whatever that question is for you, ask yourself that question. Like, why am I getting upset? Why I feel so stressed? Why am I about to lash out? It's because what? Right? Give yourself that answer and then ask yourself if you can handle it. Ask yourself if you can accept that as your reality. If you can, it brings you some peace, right? It brings the boil down. The second thing I ask myself is, who's the one in this situation that can lead us through this struggle? Is it Ray or is it me? It's me. Like, who's going to be the leader? Who's going to be the role model for how to deal with the struggle, how to deal with the tough, how to deal with the hard? It's me. So then I had to take ownership. And I'm giving you this framework because it's actually what I teach in the Mama Comeback Method. I teach these things because we have to actually have practices that allow us to go through life without feeling the stress, the frustration, the anger, the bursts, right, of demanding at our kids and lashing out and losing patience, because it doesn't really only hurt them, it hurts us too, right? We feel it in our heart. I knew that the moment I was about to like scream, I realized that like that would not only hurt her, it would make me feel bad afterwards, right? Because we all know that feeling of like, God, I did it again. I lost my patience. I totally lashed out. I feel bad, right? The third thing that I have to do is I have to clear it. So once I got her changed, it was the battle, it was the fight, it was all that. I took ownership, and then I said, all right, we got through it, but now I have all this pent up energy. Like, I have to breathe. I have to clear that energy and that stress right away, or it starts to leak into other things. Like when I left the room, Vito came out of our bedroom. He had just taken a shower, so he was totally not aware of what was going on, not able to help me, even though I called for him because I needed 4 hands. And I was kind of like annoyed, you know? And he looked at me and he said, "What's the matter?" I said, "I need a minute," because Ray absolutely lost it, and so I almost did too. And he's like, "Oh." And so I took a couple deep breaths, like I communicated that, right? And then I had to clear the energy. I do an energy breath clearing, right? And it's literally deep breathing. And it allows me to actually feel like I'm letting go, right? I'm letting go of the heart. I'm letting go of that struggle. I'm letting go of the frustration. I'm letting go of the stress, because that is just a moment in time. It's her experience in life. It's becoming my experience too. But the only one who has control over how that affects us both is me. And I wanted to share this with you because I know that so often I go through this, like, I mean, daily, or if not multiple times a day. So if this serves you, let me know. If it doesn't serve you, let me know. If you can't relate at all, I would appreciate that feedback too. But I wanted to honor you. I wanted to honor this struggle that we go through as moms, to be leaders, to be role models, to be able to accept the struggles that we go through, to be able to take ownership that we have the control in how we're guiding ourselves and our children through this life, where it's not always simple, it's not always easy, it's not always fun and laughter, but it's hard sometimes, and that we do have the ability to still get through these times with peace, calm, and sanity, and continue to enjoy our day, continue to enjoy our life. And you deserve that. All right? So I hope this serves you. Have an amazing weekend.